Well, I am so excited to talk to you. Before we get into everything, here at Bionic Buzz, we're all about people's passion. You've had a legendary career in the music industry. Where did your passion for music come from? Was it a certain album you heard, or a certain live performance you saw, or something that was just natural for you as a child?
Yeah, it was just seemed like it was always there. I had older brothers that played music, and I just think seeing them play, and I was always interested in it. I can remember being interested in it from pretty much the very beginning. So
Was
my
it?
mom and dad don't really play music at all. You
Uh
know,
huh.
so I don't know. There's I think someplace in the family line there's probably some musicians, and I know there's a few, but yeah, I don't know.
What was like from your favorite albums, or like growing up, you listened to that really inspired you to play?
Well, obviously stuff like the Beatles. I think the first records I remember having and owning were like the Glenn Miller Orchestra, the first Monkees record, and the first Beatles record.
Oh, nice.
So that's where it all came from. And then I had hand-me-down records from my brothers. I remember I went from the first Beatles record to Sergeant Pepper's, and I got his copy of Sergeant Pepper's because he had dropped it and chipped it. So I could never hear the first couple of notes, at the beginning of that record, or there's like crowd noise. It would just always just jump right into you know, the song had already started, just jump right in. So you had to be really careful when you put the needle down too, not to get that chip. You had to miss that chip. You
Yeah,
know.
I was interviewing some other musician the other day, and they were talking about the difference between these vinyls they sell now that they're thicker, so it doesn't chip and stuff. I was like, oh wow, excited for you. I didn't grow up on any of that, so it's interesting.
Yeah, they don't chip, but they can still sound nice and scratchy.
Oh, gotcha. Well,
It's
I
funny, like
love
people.
asking that question about the passion things because for me personally, I have my own story for it, and it kind of involves you in 6 degrees ways. So I didn't have cable
Ah,
growing up, and had to go to my friend's house in late '91 when I was 11 years old, and I saw "Smells Like Teen Spirit" music video for the first time, and I wanted to be a drummer right after that. And obviously, I bought like the Bleach album, which he recorded 3 songs of. If it's annoying, like I want to ask some questions about Nirvana. But I'm sure you get asked all the time.
that's fine. It's part of the
Okay.
history. So yeah, man.
Yeah, I loved Bleach, and especially the drums and Floyd the Barber, and especially Downer with the double tap. I used to do that a lot when I played drums. Was there a reason why you only recorded those three? Did Kurt just want you on those, or just it happened to be timing at the time?
I mean, the original stuff was like a whole demo. I
Oh,
recorded basically their first demo, and there's probably about 10 songs. And I guess by the time they recorded Bleach, a lot of those songs were old. They probably, they'd written a bunch of new ones, and they, probably thought they had better songs and, and whatever. So, but whatever, they used, 3 of the songs that I'd recorded with them from the original demo for Bleach. And then, the rest of those songs got spread on Incesticide and the box set and other stuff like that. So,
yeah, it was cool because I used to spend so much money on bootlegs, after Kurt's death because they were everywhere, and I wanted new tracks. Of course, all that stuff eventually ended up on the "With the Lights Out" thing.
yeah, yeah. Some of those songs like Downer, that was actually by the time Bleach came out, I think that song was probably about 5 years old.
Oh wow.
So because we'd recorded that at his aunt's house in like '86. So and Bleach came out what, like '89.
Yeah.
So and
89.
probably he probably had that song for a while even before that. So you know,
Wow. Well, what was Kurt like performing or writing songs with? I mean, because I think there was a one thing where you're performing in like a Radio Shack, I think in Aberdeen, and
oh yeah. Well, it's kind of funny. Like a whole bunch of stuff happened in like one day. Like we
yeah.
recorded, or 2 days. Like we recorded that demo during the day at Reciprocal Studios, the famous studio, the Jack and Dino in
Hmm.
Seattle. Went and recorded a 10-song demo in the day, and then drove to Tacoma and played a show at the Community World Theater at the night. And then drove back to Aberdeen, and then the next day, this guys we knew that ran Radio Shack were like, "Hey, let's record a demo of one of your new songs." And so, that was that Radio Shack thing, and it was just us basically fucking around.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
funny. I thought it was so cool that Dave Grohl thanked you and the other Nirvana drummers at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame speech. Did you get to talk to him after that, at any chance?
Yeah,
Or
well, we were actually there.
okay,
Me and Danny and Chad were all sitting at the same table, hooping it up.
that's
And then
awesome.
And then Nirvana did it. Those guys did a secret performance after that Hall of Fame thing at a bar called St. Vitus Bar in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw those guys for a few minutes there. You know?
Oh, that's awesome. I'm waiting for one day that they release. I never got to see Nirvana live because I mean they barely toured that much after, even when they were that 2-year period when they were big.
They didn't really. Kurt really didn't. He hated touring.
Yeah.
He didn't like
And
it
then
at all.
and they only played once in my area in Maryland, and this Bender Arena, which is a small arena that sold out in like 2 minutes. So, but I did get to see at the SoCal Jam the reunion thing, so that was kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I do get annoyed, and this is not a hack at Howard Stern because I love Howard Stern, but I hate when people ask like why you didn't take the Nirvana job, because I think if someone is obsessed, at the time Melvins were like the bigger band that probably would have been better off, you know. And I thought it was cool that Dave kind of stuck up for you in that thing. And I also get annoyed when people ask, you know, why did Dave not write songs for Nirvana? Because what songs would you take away? Every song was amazing, you know.
Yeah, well, Kurt was such a strong writer, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like the Melvins. It'd be like if I was to try to like, hey, I'm gonna write all of our songs now. No, I mean, you know, Buzz is such a great writer.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously, you know, but that whole Howard Stern thing, I actually got to go on there and talk to him. So
yeah, I thought that was cool. You know.
Yeah. So, you know, and well, I guess I'd be out of a job, you know, if I had. So.
Well, no, I mean, how did this whole solo thing start coming? Because you obviously didn't want to write any songs for the Melvins, but like, you know, when did you first start and like putting stuff together yourself? You know.
Well, I mean, kind of all started because Joyful Noise asked me to do stuff.
Okay.
You know, it kind of started with like them wanting to do. They had weird ideas for me to do weird vinyl projects with them. I had done a thing with a couple other drummer guys, Cody Willis, who plays Big Business and sometimes Melvins, and Joe Plummer, who plays drums in a bunch of bands, Modest Mouse, Blackheart Procession. Yeah. We'd done a kind of drummer record with a Joyful Noise.
Is this the, I'm going to probably pronounce it wrong, Piso Mojado?
Oh, no. That's
okay.
Piso Mojado. It was before that, actually.
Oh, okay.
Which Piso Mojado is also another weirdo drum record thing.
Yeah.
Hard to describe, but they make these lathe cut records that are kind of wacky. You know, like I did one that has like multiple spindle holes, and wherever you place the record, it's going to play this groove. You know, so sometimes wherever the record's on the turntable, it looks like it's warped.
Yeah, I saw the video of it. It looked so crazy.
Yeah. So they were really into doing wacky stuff like that, and then I'd also done like a split single with this band from here called Quee, that was more of a regular song rather than a weird drum thing, and so doing that and then doing these weird drum things, you know, I kind of suggested like, hey, and since they're limited edition, like all the weird vinyl things that they do, people would be mad that they didn't get it, you know, because there's only 100. They're all handmade. So
yeah, it was like 127 only made. That was crazy.
Right. So
and I think you
people were bummed out
too. I think
I did. Yeah. And we've done a couple records like that. But you know, since people didn't get it and they were bummed, I'm like, well, what if I did like a regular full record that was, you know, those weird drum songs and mixed with like regular songs. And they're into the idea, and you know, worked out really good. And then we've just done another one recently.
Okay, because your first one was the Fickle Finger of Fate, right? And did you play all the instruments yourself on that one?
Pretty much, but I had Steve McDonald played bass on some songs, and another friend of mine, Dan Southwick, played bass. We were in a band together, kind of still are. We never do anything, but we're in a band together called Altamont, and that's a band I started when I lived in San Francisco about 25 years ago, where I play guitar and sing. So it's just kind of something on the side from the Melvins that I did for a while, you know, for fun. So this is almost a continuation of that, you know, because I would write songs for that, and Dan was also a writing partner and stuff sometimes. He and I co-wrote a song on Fickle Finger of Fate. It's one of the first tracks on the record called Bad Move.
Oh, I love that song. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah. I was in the bathroom and I heard Dan playing this bass line, and I'm like running out of the bathroom going, what's that? Because he'll just play stuff that's like off the top of his head, just kind of messing around. And I'm like, hey, that's really cool, and it's just like he's like this accidentalist, and so like that's his riff, and he was like making fun of our drummer or something when he was playing this riff. Drummer from Altamont, and so I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Anyway.
That's cool. I love how stories like that, how songs get made just by
yeah. I was in the bathroom and all of a sudden, eureka.
Well, yeah, let's talk about tracks from the Rat-A-Tat-Tat. Your new album comes out January 15th. Well, we mentioned earlier, but the song I can't pronounce. Is this a new version of this experimental drum? Because you also have it.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I think we might have. I can't remember what we did to it. We did something different. We might have made it shorter.
Okay.
More palatable because it starts off the record, and it's a weird. I don't know what it is. Some weird drum jam with jaw harp.
Well, you have a track called I Can't Help You There. Great song.
Yeah.
For me, I really love bridge parts in songs when they're really epic. And this one's great. I love the guitar solo that goes along with the guitar riff. And you go back to that distorted vocals part,
Oh, right on.
Talk about the writing, that song.
I think thanks, man. I think, well, that bridge part's definitely like a Zeppelin thing for sure.
Yeah.
It's like, that song's kind of like Zeppelin mixed with Neil Young, I guess. Tuned to D, I don't know. Yeah, thanks, man. And then we did a video for that song too. It was our first time. Me and Toshi Kasai, who's a longtime Melvins engineer, also plays in the solo live band with me. Between he and I and his partner, we did our own video. Never really done it ourselves like that before. So our own cameras, our own lights.
Oh yeah, did you guys edit
our own
it
ideas
too, or?
Yeah, we did it. Yeah. Toshi's girlfriend did it.
That's awesome.
So,
yeah, it's a great video.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
Came out good. There's really not much budget for video nowadays. Obviously there's no MTV or anything like that. And really you're only going to see it online or whatever on YouTube.
Yeah, I still enjoy the art form of a music video. I'm glad bands still. I know there's not the budget like it was back, in the '90s, like when I first.
Right. No, this was really DIY. Fully DIY, and we had a really good time doing it. Enough to where we're like, wow, let's do more. This is really cool, and it's because of technology too nowadays. It's a lot cheaper. You're shooting on digital and So anyway,
one I hope you do a music video for is Shark Like Overbite. It's a fun poppy song. It makes me jump up and down too. I wish I could see that live at some point.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'd like to. Yeah.
Is this like the poppiest song you ever wrote, or?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I just had that riff and I really liked it a lot. And
you know, the riff in the bathroom or anything like that, or?
I can't remember. No, there's a song on the previous record that was almost in the same key, and I think it's kind of related. And I think that's where it came from. Well, that, and I've been listening to what was I listening to? Oh, I lost it now.
Well, I like the lyrics too. Like the shark, like I got overbite. Like a shark. Where'd you come up with the lyrics for that too?
Oh, that was my dog. I had this, I had this dog that was
around that.
Yeah, he his name was Arthur, and he had this really crazy overbite, like really short jaw underneath,
like a shark.
And when he would lay on his back, he looked like a shark. So, but yeah, we're big fans of dogs.
Me too.
There's one right over here sleeping. He's probably, if I said, want to go for a walk? Oh, his eyes are wide open right now.
Yeah.
Look at that. You didn't see it.
Yeah, mine did the same thing. We heard the W noise.
Yeah.
Well, you get Tougher, which is a great, shred noise guitar riff. It makes me want to
Yeah.
stomp my feet, bang my head. You got the distortion on your vocals. Very awesome song, man.
That one is almost an Altamont song. It's got 3/4 of the members of the band.
Oh,
And
really?
that's
Wow.
yeah, Dan, who I mentioned before, is playing bass, and Toshi was in Altamont too. He played like second guitar and keyboards. So, and that one he and I wrote. That's the one song on the record that was co-written with somebody else. So half Toshi's song, half my song. Yeah.
Well,
So,
besides your solo
yeah.
album coming out in January, you got new Melvins coming out February 26th. That's super excited. You
Yep.
released 2 songs so far. Brian, the Horse-Faced Goon, or I like to say this song tracks. What's the matter with Brian? It's a great song. Talk about recording that one.
Yeah. Brian. Well, that record we had started recording before all this mess went down that we're in now, and actually right on when it was happening, we had well, I should back up a little bit. So this record is a Melvins 1983 record.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. It's got the original drummer,
Melvins,
Mike.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that means I get kicked over to play bass, and so we had Mike Dillard down here recording with us right when the shit was hitting the fan. And we had to hurry and get his drum tracks done and send him back home. See, Mike lives in Washington State. He actually lives in Montesano, which is the town that the Melvins originate from.
Nice.
And he's kind of always been in the band. He's definitely has the spirit of the original band. And Mike has been friends with Buzz for a long time, even before the band started. And so, he's one of us. And anyway,
yeah.
Luckily, we got everything done before all this happened, and managed to get it done, and it's coming out. Yeah, like you said, in February. And Brian. Yeah. You asked about Brian, the Horse-Faced Goon.
Yeah.
That's that actually was a rare co-written by myself and Buzz.
Oh wow, cool.
My music, his words. So yeah.
Nice. Is there any inspiration for that? In the bathroom, or dog inspired it?
Well, like the music part of it, I was kind of thinking. I think I was influenced by Pussy Galore, though I don't know if you could quite tell. Because I don't think it sounds anything like Pussy Galore now. But the main riff, I was thinking of them. Oh,
very cool. Well, you have another track it's released. It's very fun. It's I Fuck Around Such Bouncing Rick, which is kind of like I think it's a Beach Boys song, I think.
It is a Beach Boys, yes, written by Brian Wilson. It is a take on that. And I don't know. It's almost like an inside joke, like we've been singing for a long time. Round, round, fuck around, I fuck around. So usually, and especially with the Melvins 1983, we'll have a really goofy idea and we'll laugh about it and think, haha, that's really dumb. And then we'll do it, Stuff like that happens all the time with the Melvins. Like, hey, wouldn't it be really goofy if we did 51 shows in a row, every state in the United States plus Washington, D.C.? Yeah, that's really stupid. Fuck, why would we do that? Oh, let's do it,
That's awesome. Yeah, one of my favorite concerts, speaking of Washington, D.C., is on my 18th birthday, I got to see Helmet with Melvins opening up at the 930 Club in D.C. And Paige said happy birthday to me on stage, and I thought it was like the coolest thing ever.
Oh, right. So
that's
awesome.
That was a great show. So anything else in the works you'll have to talk about? Any new other tracks coming up, shows possibly in 2021?
There's stuff coming out. There's stuff that's going to happen, stuff I can't really talk about right away. But keep your ears and eyes open, because there's something coming down the pipe real soon.
Very cool.
Something that will probably happen on a special holiday that people usually go out and celebrate, but probably will stay inside to celebrate this year. So look for that. Gotcha. Look for a special something. That's about all I can say.
But it'll be cool. Wait something to find out this surprise. So
right on. We've been busy, so I can just say that. So
Very nice. Well, I tell musicians all this. Thank you for you releasing new music during this pandemic. You know, we miss going to concerts and
Thanks.
stuff. So at least some new art to
Yeah.
brighten our spirits, you know.
Yeah, we're getting through. We're still kicking, you know, so everything's okay, and we'll get through this one way or another.
Yeah. Well, Dale, thank you so much for taking your time to talk to me. I hope to see you live in some form, some point next
Yes,
year,
sir.
hopefully. So,
All right. Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for this. Take care.